trying to convince Andy to leave me here and go home and fix the boat.
Hey Dad, can you just go home? We'll just stay here.
Come on, Dad.
Yeah, I'll go home, fix Melody. Cool, like you was getting a dinosaur off your mum.
Welcome back to SV Blown Away. In this week's episode, we continue to show Sailing Melody what liveaboard lifestyle is really like. As a recap, last week we went on a quad bike tour around Skopelos and visited the Mamma Mia Chapel. We are Natalie, Ian and Nelson, and we are living a life less ordinary.
Sailing Melody, Andy, Melissa and Jack. They're in the process of rebuilding an old steel boat, and we invited them to Greece for the week so they can take a look at liveaboard lifestyle.
Ready?
You ready to fish for humans, Jack?
Okay.
Want to help? Yeah, good, good. Jack, want to help?
How do I help? Ready?
I'm just going to pull on this rope. Give us some slack, so hang on, wait, don't pull it yet. We've got to wait for that to get back in the water and then you can pull it to us. The boat's going to go forwards. Just tension of the chain on the anchor. So we're going to pile the rope up, so we don't have loads of salt water in the cockpit, right?
Yes.
Ready? Right, there you go. Do some human fishing. Keep pulling, pull. Pull like you was getting a dinosaur off your bum. Come on, Jack, that dinosaur's eating your mum.
Why?
Oh! It's a dinosaur, pull it! Get that dinosaur off! So while our younger crew member pulls in the line, I'm off to pick up the anchor. Let's hope Jack lands the fish.
Morning everyone, again. So we are motoring out of that lovely little harbour and we're off to Skopelos again, but we're going to go to a different place. Yesterday we had a fantastic time swimming and messing about, and then the weather turned in the evening, so it was a bit of a rolly evening, and we sat and watched a film, and today we should have a lovely day of sailing.
One day I'll change your mind, and it won't come easy, but I know it's worth the fight, and I will run across the rivers anywhere with you. I won't give up, I'll take my chances, and I will follow you through the night.
So, there you go, see now, I'm starting to see more of the, less of that and more of that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn the wheel to the left a little bit, yeah? Small, if you do small corrections, the boat goes in a straight line. If you do big corrections, when you're doing this, the boat's doing the crazy idle bit. Now look, 7.5 knots wind, we're making 4 knots speed.
See, I'm looking at that Genoa thinking maybe it could come in just a tweak, but that means I've got to turn round.
You guys just do that other way. So that'll come out in a minute, change it anyway. that's how we, like, there's loads of video footage of us, like, I'll clap the camera up or something, and we're steering with our feet, under sail. Because it's like, once it's balanced, then it's just set up. Yeah, we don't use electronics.
Everybody, I was just saying, there's me thinking I've got to get every little thing done on the boat, the autopilot and everything, and no, just these guys never had an autopilot until fairly recently, sailed all the way here without one, and just get the boat in the water, get it seaworthy and strong and safe and go. So I'm getting more and more motivated to not be too fussed about finishing every little detail before we leave. Just press on and get the boat in the water and gone.
Nat and Ian can't afford bowls and plates even.
So you should become patrons to help them buy more plates because they're so poor.
No, they've broken their plates, so we've got sandwiches in bowls. But I think it's a good idea because they won't fall off.
Quick little update. We've got to where we were going, and we've been followed in by a flotilla, and there's 11 boats coming in. We were here first, anchored, moored on the end of this little pontoon. All the other boats have come in, which has tipped the pontoon one side. So somebody local has just come over and said, "Oh, you can't stay on the end of the pontoon there, you have to move." And we were like, "Well, yes, but there's 11 boats, so there's 6 more coming in. They're going on the other side of the pontoon, by which time the pontoon will sit flat. So we're just going to get out of here, it's too busy." To be fair, the fleet leader was really polite and really apologetic and told us that they'd got another flotilla going in somewhere else in case we're going there. But we're going to go back to Panormus because it's a beautiful, quiet little bay and it's more our kind of scene, really. Okay.
Well, what we're doing is we're going to stay here for a bit until some of those boats out there move, because it's pretty full, so we're just going to anchor right here in the blue. Ian and Nat are going to get in the dinghy in the water in a second. And here's Nelson, old boy. The reason we're putting the dinghy in the water so we can go see Ian and Natalie's friends. What's their boat called? On the Wish. Well, they're going to be here in a second. Let's hope they've made some cake.
We'll go over to the tavern and be able to take the dinghy, right?
Yeah.
The other reason for putting the dinghy in the water was because Ian had promised Jack some powerboat tuition.
So we have to be quite careful in its operation. So there's a few things I want to talk about before we get going. We've got a couple of lines on this dinghy, so they'll need to be secured. Yeah, so they could go into the prop shaft. Yeah, it's always advisable to have your bow line shorter than the length of the boat, and then it doesn't go in the prop. But because we've got paddles, yeah, so if the engine conks out, we can row our way back to the boat, can't we? We've got floatability, so these air chambers are separate. It's not all one tube, so if we get a puncture, one piece will go down. What other bits of safety equipment could we take on our dinghy on our little trip around here in case we had a problem? Yeah, okay, so life jackets. We're going to wear our life jackets in case we go overboard. a form of communication. We've got a keel cord, which we're going to be wearing when we're operating the dinghy. And the reason we've got that is whoever's at the helm, if they fall over, this cord will pull. And what's going to happen to the engine when that comes off, do you think?
It'll just cut.
Stop the boat, and the fastest way to stop the boat, pull the clip out. So we use this to get the engine started. And Nat's already used the dinghy, so we probably won't need to use the choke. But because Nat's been using the dinghy for Nelson to the beach, what's the one critical thing do you think that we should check before we leave? What does this use? Fuel. So let's check the fuel, shall we? So our fuel can is just down there. Have you ever been taught to row a dinghy before?
Yes.
You have? Okay. Yeah, just so I know you can get back if you needed to, you could row back. So let's do one lap around the boat using the oars, and then we'll use the engine. Okay. On wide angle so we catch it. So it's a circular motion with your hands, yeah? Watch your hands, they're going around in circles, aren't they? Like a machine. Like a board. So this bit's important. So the first thing we're going to do before we start the engine is we're going to put our keel cord on. When you're ready, pull the lever forward, punch the gear, and then go clockwise around the yacht. Okay? Yeah, ready? When you push towards me, we go left, or when you pull towards you, we go right, and we go starboard. We have to anticipate what it's going to do because the wind will push it somewhere. What's the other force of nature that will push it somewhere? Currents, the tides, yeah, good lad. So we're going to practice bringing this boat alongside of the yacht. And we're going to do it on either side of the yacht. Yeah? So if I demonstrate it to begin with, and then I'm going to let you have to go back there on each side.
Do you want to go, Nelson?
Go.
Nelson? Nelson?
So
Hey.
take the wheel.
Do you want to have a go?
We're going to practice bringing. When we're in forwards gear, you're steering from the back. I can see that. So when you're pushing forwards, you steer from the back. When you go forward, you steer from the front. So think about the direction you want to go. Aim that outboard like it had an arrow on it. So I want to go in that direction. So I'm going to aim the outboard. It's right, you hold it. Hold it. So I'm going to aim the outboard in the direction I want to travel. It doesn't matter if the boat's going sideways. Okay, so now I want to straighten up a little bit. So think of this as an arrow. Just aim the arrow in the direction you want the boat to go. Right, now we're going to go around the boat in the opposite direction. In reverse, but the other way around. my best friend Bob. Now Bob and me have been mates for a very long time. See how friendly we are. Let's make Bob. Let's go boating with Bob. Shut the engine off.
Is Bob okay?
Oh no, poor Bob. We got.
Bob had too many strawberries.
He had too many strawberry milkshakes and fell in. There you go. There's no chance of us accidentally knocking it into gear, is there? Yay, Bob back! So what are the key elements to picking up your dad or your mum if they fell in? Wind, tide, because that will push them or you, won't it? So the wind affects the boat because it's sat on the surface of the water, but the tide will affect the person in the water. Because when you're in the water, only my head is showing, isn't it? Yeah. So most of my body is like an iceberg. I'm in the water, whereas the little dinghy is sitting on the surface of the water. Yeah. So the wind affects the dinghy. The person is affected by tide or the currents. Your dad will give you loads of hints on what we can do with Bob, I'm sure. I'm all for leaving him on an island somewhere. He's just a liability, isn't he, Bob? Okay, good, well done. Don't leave me hanging. Alright, happy? Time to put some of those newfound skills into practice. Let's go see if they've made cake. And just like that, the week's over.
We've got to be at the airport at 7, I would say. It's 6:30, 7 o'clock.
We're anchored just off Skiathos, and it's time for us to say goodbye. Hopefully we'll see them again on Melody, and at some point in time we will be going back to the UK, and we will take a trip up to North Wales to go and visit Melissa, Andy and Jack and see the progress that they've made with Melody. Meanwhile, head on over to their YouTube channel, link now. I'll also put a link in the description to see the progress that they're making on their boat. Hopefully the week on board Blown Away has given them an insight into liveaboard lifestyle, and it will give them the motivation to keep going with this project even when times are hard. Good luck, guys. So if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the bell for notifications of when the next video comes out. Join us again next week when we explore this shipwreck. And again this week, a big shout out to Captain Svetlana, whose YouTube channel is featured down below, and to David L. Thank you for your support via Ko-fi. Much appreciated.
And last but not least, a big thank you to our Patreon captains, Matthew Clark and Michael Barris.